Hi, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey guys, we've loved answering all of your questions so far. If you'd like to hear your question on the podcast, please send them to us on Instagram at Wheel Talk Podcast or by email to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
Anyway, we should start before something else happens.
Yeah.
Maybe a radio will turn on. I did have my Spotify turn on randomly in a podcast once.
Yeah, see,
I have the Echo Dot thing just come on. I'm not even going to say the name, but it just comes on because it's right on the other side of this wall, and it has, like, the best hearing.
Yeah, we were on the phone earlier, and he was like, "Shut up!"
There's a reason I don't have an Alexa.
Same.
Okay, she's good. She's good.
Listening in. It's the government. I'm kidding.
It's the government! We're in the right household for that here. Okay, anyway, we should be... Hi, we're live.
We're live.
Hello.
Do you want to introduce our guests? Ryan?
I don't want to butcher your last name. Why don't you we have Brooke on the podcast from Bath Ceramics.
Hi.
And she also hosts a podcast. Brooke, do you want to introduce yourself and tell people how to say your last name?
I want to try. Can I try?
Yeah, go ahead. I'd love to hear your renditions.
Thivierge?
Thivierge.
Becca's was closer.
Thivierge?
So it's Thivierge, but it's French Canadian. So Thivierge is actually the French pronunciation. We also get Thivierge, Thivierge, like it. Yeah, anything, and I'll know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yes,
like, hey, you.
Yeah. So my name's Brooke Thivierge. I'm the artist of Bath Ceramics. I'm from upstate New York, and do you want to know background of my artist?
Life story.
Oh, do we have all night?
No, I'm kidding. Don't do it in like 3 minutes.
Okay. All right, I'll just do...
Wait, before you start, P.S., I'm at my parents' house, and there's people riding motorcycles next door, and my dad's watching TV, and the TV might turn on randomly. So keep that in mind. Okay, now continue. Sorry.
It's okay. So my artistic background, let's start with college. I went to college at New Hampshire Institute of Art. I went 2013 to 2017, graduated in 2017. I went for painting. Sorry, is your hand up for a question?
Is New Hampshire Institute of Art is it like the people that couldn't get into RISD?
No, it was actually spur of the moment college, actually. Like, I thought I was going to Potsdam, New York for college, just like my sister. And New Hampshire Institute of Art had I don't know what they're called, like people that travel to high schools to try to...
Recruiter.
Yeah, recruiter, exactly. So a recruiter from my college came to my art class in high school, and I was like, hell yeah, I'd love to go to an all-art school. Like, I'm going to college for art, might as well, right? So it was right at the last minute. I missed the deadline for application fees and everything. So I got in, though, so hallelujah. And it kind of, like, changed my life, and it started my course of... I learned how to wheel throw my senior year of college. I went to college for 2D painting and 2D art. Like, I learned a lot of printmaking, book arts, ceramics. There was photography, all the painting courses you can think of. Figure drawing, illustration, there's design there, like... I learned a lot, and I'm one of the people who are very grateful and appreciative for my experience of college, because without it, I wouldn't have learned how to wheel throw.
Right.
Yeah, so that's where my love of ceramics really started, was in college. I took Wheel 101, and then my last semester of college, I took Wheel 102, and I graduated in 2017, and I was like, I need to continue this. Like, there's nothing that's driving me more right now than mud.
Yeah.
So my parents bought me my first wheel that Christmas of 2017, and I cried like a baby.
Aww.
Yeah, and then it just started snowballing from there. I borrowed kiln time with my local elementary school, and then in 2019, early 2019, I decided, like, I hate my job. It's sucking the soul, the life out of me. I need to pursue this full time in order to live a better life for myself, because my mental health was crazy. And yeah, and then I quit my job.
That was adjacent to arts, or was it?
No, I worked for a supermarket, Hannaford Supermarkets. I was a produce clerk, cutting fruit every day.
Like every other art graduate.
Yeah. I mean, I love produce. I love to garden, so it was kind of up my alley, but nothing compared to art. Yeah, and they didn't really appreciate the people who worked there. You were just a body going to work. They didn't really care about you, so that was one of the reasons I quit. But yeah, I quit in August of 2019. I took my ceramics full time, and here I am.
So had you sold before that?
Yeah, I had an Etsy shop, and I was selling here and there, doing commissions and selling my own work that I wanted to do on Etsy, and painting too on the side.
Okay.
Were you as good as you are? Like, obviously you weren't as good, but would you say in high school going into college you were like pretty freaking good at painting?
I don't want to toot my own horn, but
because I would say that now you're pretty fucking amazing at painting.
Thank you.
So in comparison, like if you're at a 10 now, well, I'm saying you're at like a 10 now. Where do you think you were when you were in high school? Probably.
High school, I was probably like a 3.5, maybe.
So
I learned
really,
a lot in college.
Really helped you.
Yeah, college was like, I still use my technique that I learned in college to this day.
Nice.
Yeah.
What makes an art school or art institute different than other college experience? I know you didn't go to both, but like, is it just there's a more depth of art offerings at that college versus other colleges that have to match a lot of different majors and stuff?
Yeah, I would say New Hampshire Institute of Art at the time was strictly all art based. The only liberal arts that you could take, which were like you had to take in order to graduate, was a science course, a math course, and philosophy, like random classes. But
so
yeah,
there wasn't a lot of upper level in those sciences and maths and stuff like that.
It was just one.
We're breeding people to get art degrees here, and that's what you're for. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was all artists. We were all of like the same mindset, going to school for art, and yeah, we were just a lot of weirdos. Yeah, it was amazing.
Was it in-state at least, or considered in-state, so the tuition was reasonable, or was it?
No,
like,
you mean it was what's the word?
Private.
Sorry. Yes, private. It was a private school.
They're all expensive.
Yeah. Okay. I did get the presidential scholarship though, which helped a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Is that because of your painting expertise coming into college?
To be honest, I think it was just the fact that they were giving out scholarships to have students come to the college so they wouldn't go bankrupt. I didn't want to say it, but I said it. My school kind of was tanking. By 2017, they were like, we're not going to be a college if we don't do something. So they merged with Southern New Hampshire, and now they go by a different name. I think it's Institute of Design or something like that.
Nice.
So yeah, I was
That's
like,
why
I
you
got
always
out
did
right at
submit
the
that
right time.
application late, and you got
I-
in with the late application.
I did.
I also had a college like that too. Like I went to Cal Poly Pomona in California in the fine art department, but by the end of my college, like by my last year, they had disbanded the art department. There was no, I mean, they hadn't like taken the art department away, but there was no degree in fine art anymore after the year after I graduated. And
They did the same with ceramics. After I graduated, they took out the department, and now it's only an elective.
wow.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, they took, I don't even know if they have the kiln still. The entire basement of the one studio building was the ceramics department. And they had, I think, 4 gas kilns and 2 electric kilns. And now it's the photography studio. Where'd the kilns go?
Whoa.
I don't know. I'm so glad I graduated when I did.
No kidding.
And imagine, I mean, those departments, like, they need people that have a certain skill set to run a ceramics department. So it's not like easy to just plug and play somebody. Like, you got to know a lot of shit to run it. And like, if you're in charge of the curriculum and the studio tech and keeping that all together with 4 kilns and all, like, you got to learn so much.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Wow.
I wish I took more ceramic courses, but unfortunately it was my senior year, so time was limited for me. I wanted to graduate when everybody else did, all my friends, but I could have stayed. I could have got my MFA with them, but I decided not to. And yeah, it kind of worked out for the better.
Yeah.
What would you have wanted to do the MFA for specifically? Were there intentions of teaching or something like that?
Yeah, they did have a program. If you came on for your 5th year, you would have gotten a art education degree.
Okay.
So, but also the MFA, I feel like I would have stayed even longer for an MFA because of the fact that I wanted to learn more about ceramics.
Mm.
Yeah, getting access to that studio.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a lot of people in the studio. It's kind of nice because you're like, I don't have to pay for all this equipment. But because I'm paying for tuition. So like,
studio fee of $100 each semester. That was the money going towards all the studio space.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's not too bad, I guess, when you consider the flexibility of what it costs to go to a studio and take classes and rent space. It's like,
renting space, definitely.
Okay. So now you're making, and you have a home studio?
Yeah, I'm in it right now, actually.
Nice. Okay.
You want to see it?
Sure.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Lots of greenery. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, tons of plants. There's my workbench.
Nice.
My inspirational wall. Yeah.
Simple.
And then that's the staircase that goes downstairs, and that's my bedroom over there, and that's my closet. So it's just a little nook, and it works for me. And then the basement, I have a glaze room where my kiln is.
Nice. That's perfect.
Yeah, it works. Kind of outgrowing it, but I think it's just literally the space from my wheel to the staircase. This big old chair can't really get through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm pretty fortunate for what.
So what kind of work did you start producing? Maybe when you started selling full time, or what got you to go full time with it, and then kind of where you are now with it?
Yeah. So right before I went full time, I told myself, like, you need to set a goal for yourself. You need to make at least $800 a month, because that was actually twice as much as what I was making while working at Hannaford, because I was part-time, to be able to have time to spend on my ceramics and my other artwork and to have a life. But I told myself before I took the leap, like, you better know what you're getting yourself into. You better have, like, your work at a certain level and have all your ducks in a row. So the work that I was creating right before I went full time, I discovered underglaze, and that just took my business, took my my inspiration like to a whole nother level. I could then take my painting skill and everything that I learned in college and pursue it towards my ceramics. And it just opened so many doors for me after I started doing that. And I did my first online, my own website restock in August of 2019. And I almost sold out. And that told me, I was like, all right, this is it. I made enough money to cover everything, all my expenses, and then some. And I made more money than I was working at Hannaford. So that really told me, like, you can do this.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
like, I need more time to make, and then you're like, once I get more time, then I can keep
Yeah.
this consistent.
100%, yeah. And once I had the time, I just went gung-ho.
Oh my God. I think that must have been when I found you, because the first like mugs that you sold were those little deer mugs, and they're so cute.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, those
And-
were the first underglaze painting, was fawns, the little deer.
And then the pumpkins. I feel like you really popped off with the pumpkins.
I love pumpkins. Yeah,
It's a seasonal item, but it's not so like.
yeah,
it's just-
everyone who
it's
I
just-
know who shares the same desire and love for pumpkins, we all decorate our house with pumpkins all year round. There's no season for a pumpkin for us. It's all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
So are you painting on greenware, or are you painting on bisque?
Greenware.
Greenware. Okay. And
I
you
like it
better.
moist. Yeah, I like it moist because when you paint on bisque, it sucks the underglaze right into it, and then the colors fade. So if I paint on greenware, the clay's still moist, the color stays true to what I'm looking at as I'm doing it, and it doesn't dry out as fast when it's still wet.
What do you
Mhm.
mean it fades? Because it doesn't keep the moisture in it long enough for you to like understand what color it's going to be?
So all paint, when it dries, it changes color just a tidbit. So for the underglaze, especially like the speedball underglaze, how it's kind of has that chalky consistency we were talking about online recently,
Mhm.
and once that dries, it looks more chalky than it actually is when you apply it. So yeah, it sucks the moisture in, and I don't like that. And then I overwork the painting because I can't see the true color.
Right. Like she's talking about the colors when she's painting it at that time, not necessarily the colors after it's fired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once the colors are fired, they're actually much more vibrant.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite brand of underglaze?
It's fine. Don't feel like you have to say a certain answer here. You can be honest.
I feel bad because I'm part of the artist network on Speedball, and
Oh, maybe you can't be honest. Sorry.
I mean, I do have a favorite, and unfortunately, obviously you'll figure it out because I only use 2 brands, and if I'm not saying the one brand name, you'll know the other one.
Well, there you go.
Becca uses.
I
Oh.
didn't want to say it.
We're
Just in
representing all of the brands here in this
Yes.
chat, right?
But the thing is,
apologize.
there's probably certain colors that you like better from certain
100%.
brands,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
hmm And I think once I do that Darvan trick that you taught everyone online recently, I think I'm gonna love the Speedball even more.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, I'm actually kind of curious about our original reason why we asked, not the only reason, but the original reason why we asked you on the podcast was because you started doing subscriptions, and we want to hear about that shit.
Because you asked us a question, you sent in a question that was, are Instagram subscriptions, are they worth it, and what to show if I offer the option?
Yeah.
And we didn't get back to you in time, so you just did it, and so now we
Because I
want
was
to
like,
know the
we
answer.
need to talk to somebody, and I'm like, well, she started them, so let's just go through the thought process of what led you there.
Yeah, so I started subscriptions in this year, January 2023. And I think what led me there was a lot of built up, like, contemplation about starting them. I get a lot of people asking me, like, hey, do you give classes about painting with underglaze? And I'm like, no, I don't. Sorry. Like,
Sorry, I'm busy doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Off of the curriculum.
Yeah, and I did a couple lives for Speedball, like the takeovers. I did a couple live painting demos, and I was always refer them to those that I saved on my Instagram. But I just, there's a lot that are background tips and tricks that I could teach people, and so far I think it's going pretty well. I have 14 subscribers, and they're on and off. Last month I had 14, and then I had 3 people unsubscribe for February, but then I had 3 more people, different people, come back and bring my number up. But yeah, it's going pretty good. I give live painting demos every month. So far this month I've done 2, and my goal is 1, but I have 2 restocks going into 1 month. So February and March is going to be 1 restock. So I feel like I have to give more live painting demos because of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been good. I give them pictures of my color palette that I'm using and tips and tricks about how to keep your underglaze moist, mixing colors for layering. I talk a lot about color theory in my live demos and how color theory really makes the painting work.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've got a couple videos lined up that I haven't posted yet. So I'm just trying to keep myself organized and on the right track, because part of me is like, these people are paying you. You better be on your shit.
How much are they paying you a month?
I have it signed up for $4.99 a month, and right now Instagram is only taking transaction fees. They're not taking commission. So I believe I'm getting $3.49 out of the $4.99 for each time someone subscribes.
Okay.
So that's an extra like $50 a month for you to do a live demo at minimum. And then are you doing, what are the other features you can do with it? Is it, I've heard stories is a thing you can.
Yeah, so you can do everything that you do on your personal account that goes over to subscription, but it's exclusively for the people who pay to see that exclusive content. So I can do stories, I can do live videos, I can post videos, reels, regular photos, and what's cool is you have a broadcasting channel and also a 24-hour group chat with your subscribers, so you can talk with them and they can ask you questions, and then it disappears in 24 hours.
Oh, can you reply in audio format and in video format? Can you do all that stuff?
I believe so. Yeah. It's the same as like a DM, but it's like group chat.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Do you find yourself using that a lot or getting questions
I've only used it once so far to ask them, what do you want to see?
Oh, so you decide to open the chat. It's not,
yes.
Does anybody have the access to just chat in there and then you see it and other people see it?
Yeah, so I start the group chat. I choose who I want in the group chat, and I don't know if there's a limit on how many subscribers, but since I only have 14, I just add everyone. And then I just ask them, talk to them, like whatever and then they reply just like a regular DM group chat, and then it disappears. Simple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It goes big.
Yeah, right. I hate having group chats that last forever. And then when you leave the group chat, it tells the person, like, that's their image, left the group chat. I don't want to be that person. Like with family group chats, I'm like, I don't want to listen to my phone ding on all day long. Listen to my grandma and my great uncle talk about nonsense. Like, I want to leave this group chat.
Yeah. You can mute it and hopefully nobody sees it, but like,
I have muted.
yeah,
a couple
leaving
of things.
chats is tough because you're like, ooh.
But
Yeah.
I'm very passive aggressive, and I'm like the person in my family who always says no, so I don't really get asked to do things often anymore because I say no all the time because I'm putting up boundaries, And I feel like I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna leave this group chat. Just let you know I'm leaving. Don't think any more ill will of me than you already do.
I'm not doing anything that you wouldn't expect me to do, probably.
Exactly.
This isn't out of character if you have paid attention how much input I've put into these group chats.
Yeah, I just thumbs up, maybe a picture or two, and
I feel like my family doesn't have a group chat because I guess we don't like each other enough. But like, I don't know. I'm pretty quick to be like, bye.
I have an ongoing group chat with my sisters and my mom, and that's the longest group chat. It's been going on for like 4 years now, and it's the only one I won't leave.
I guess we have a group chat with Ryan and Rachel and Deech
In
about
Instagram,
cats.
yeah. It's just a bunch of cat.
I love that.
What's funny is that like I can't figure out how to find the group chat. So like I don't know how to send something in the group chat. So I just look at the videos. I have no idea how to send it.
Is it a group chat in Facebook Messenger or Instagram?
It's an Instagram.
You can change the group name, and that could be a helpful way to find them.
Oh, look at you, smarty pants.
Mm.
Yeah, I have a group chat with a couple ceramic buddies, and it was kind of like a group chat to make sure everyone's on their A game. Like, hey, just checking in, making sure you washed your splash pan this week or something like that. And
Accountability there.
Yeah, it was right before I started my own podcast, and that was the time I was like, oh, I really love this group chat, this accountability with these friends. I want to like talk to them like one-on-one and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm going to change the group chat to Pots and Pals and see if that could be my podcast name. And they never really got back to me about the name. So I was like, fuck it, I'm changing it to Batty Bitches. They like the group chat name, Pots and Pals, or is it Pals and Pots? I don't know. But and then I was like, how about 2 peas in a pod? Because podcast pod. But then I looked it up and someone already has that name, so
fuck. There's some. Oh, go on.
Sorry, I also like the Batty Bitches because it coincides with my business name, Bat Ceramics.
Is it Bat because your middle initial is with an A, so it's BAT?
Yep, my initials, Brooke Ashley Thivierge, and Bats, and the apostrophe S is because it's mine.
Oh, okay.
It's mine.
I didn't even notice that those were your initials, so like I thought you just liked bats.
A lot of people think that. I mean, I really do. I love bats.
But who doesn't like bats? Like, they're pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't like bats, actually. They think they're creepy. But, they just don't understand them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing the subscriptions. Did you have to figure out what you would be offering before you started it? Or were you worried about like, am I giving enough, or who's going to actually be interested in joining, so that I know what is worth my time and what's not worth my time?
Yeah, so it's really about what you want to show when you start it. They don't really give you like what to show. You just do it on your own. But yeah, I made a list. I was like, this is what I'm going to give, and go throughout my process, and what doesn't work for me, I'm not going to show, like I want them to get something out of it. I mean, they're paying their money towards it. I want them to feel like it's worth it. So yeah. I think I had a list of like, actually, my sketchbook's downstairs, but Yeah, I had a list of, like, I can show them the brushes I use, the underglazes, applying the underglazes. So far, I've shown how to do my handles. I've shown my color palettes, live demos. I also thought that giving a glaze combo that I use in every batch would be fun to help them get more in the rhythm of using combinations of glazes, and also people really enjoy my glaze combos, which are all commercially bought, so they can do it themselves. Yeah. And a lot of people, I don't know what it is, like, they don't like to do the work. So why not give them like a little, what's it called, like their shoe in the door. You don't have to do the work, I'll do it for you kind of thing. You're paying me to do it.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're paying you, so you don't feel as bad if they're like, you could say, put out a poll of like, what do you want me to show? What glaze combo do you want to see next month or something, and then let people vote.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a way to crowdsource it a little bit.
Yeah, I did that recently. I asked them, what orchid do you want me to paint? Because I had like 3 different color orchids reference photos. And I was like, I'm going to paint all of them anyway, so which one do you want to see live demo of? Yeah. And only like 5 of them replied out of the 13. But
I have a Patreon, and like I was doing like a video a week, I think. Every Tuesday I would put up a video, and like nobody responded to anything, and like it was like, I had a fair amount of subscribers.
Yeah, it's quite annoying when you just don't get anybody.
Yeah, and like nobody would. Well, there's like a few people that would talk, but very few. And then I Van thing, and I was like, I don't think I can do this. And so I just went on to the podcast or the Patreon. I was like, hey guys, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to post any videos. And if you want to leave, you totally can.
You did that as a follow-up after you... Oh, that was at the end of the year, though, when you started, like, hey, I'm going in the van. I don't know what the Patreon looks like.
Yeah. Okay. And, like, some people were like, meh, you've given a lot to the community, so I'll just keep on keeping. But it definitely dropped, like, in half. And I was like, whatever. But I was getting, like, almost $400 a month. If I had gotten it, like, if I had kept it up.
But why wouldn't you go back to it, though?
I would have kept it up. Damn, $400?
You know what? I ran out of shit to talk about.
No,
I was like,
you didn't.
That's what I'm worried about. Like, there's so many glaze combos that I figured out. There's so much that I can tell you about how I do my painting. I guess the only thing, how I'm going to keep people to come back, is that I switch it up every month.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, you paint so many different things. So I think just having videos of you painting so many different things, what I would potentially do also is just start videotaping literally every single time you paint something. And so if there's a month that you're like, I don't know what to do, you just throw up one of your old paintings, because that's still very informational. Like, if I watched you paint, I don't know, how long does it take you to paint like one of your, like a bird?
A bird. I haven't done birds in a while, but yeah.
But a mug, like, how long do you think?
Yeah, it roughly an hour to 2 hours.
Yeah, like if you posted like segments of that, or even like did 1 hour at a time and just threw it up there, I would find that extremely beneficial. And also, if like somebody has kids, just throw them in front of the, like, I know when I used to do long throwing sessions, my friends were like, we just put the kids in front of the phone and let them watch you. Like, turn the volume off, and
I'm sure they could AirPlay it to a TV and stuff and just watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I think that what I've been noticing and what I'm realizing, I guess, is that I think that we as artists and as content type creators really overestimate the work that we actually need to do. Because, like, just doing what we do is really interesting to people. Like, today posted a reel of me taking my kiln out of my van.
I watched it, yeah.
Right? Like, that was nothing. Like, I do that every day, and I've been watching a bunch of these reels that are really popular, and I'm like, they're just taking a video of themselves in bed. Like, not like doing anything in bed, but just like waking up out of bed. And like,
and they get thousands of likes for nothing.
right. So like, if you just videotaped what you're already doing, you could probably have a year's worth of content just like freaking.
I think the issue that I've had, and the reason why one of the reasons I chose Instagram subscriptions over Patreon, I know Patreon also does this, but the live videos, I've noticed that if I videotape myself painting on my phone, straight from the phone, like not through Instagram or anything, and I have that like 2-hour long video, and if I try to upload that, it always glitches. So the reason I like to do the live video is because it's already automatically an option to save it onto your Instagram. So that's what I do. I just do the live painting demo and then save it directly to the subscription. I'm not uploading a huge video because I know something could go wrong.
Yeah.
Instagram's gotten a little bit better about getting their desktop like browser integrated more. I wonder if that's a more safe option where it's not draining your phone and like taking time away from your phone to post it. I wonder if that might be worth trying. But yeah, either way.
Yeah, it would just be another step though, like filming it from my phone and then sending it to my tablet and then uploading it from my tablet. I don't know if I want to do all that work.
You could just also do YouTube videos, and then you could just upload it on your phone too. I'm not saying what you should do.
How would you do that though?
Tell me
How would you share that effectively? You'd link to a private YouTube video?
Yeah, you can link to a private YouTube video. Oh, yeah, that is actually a really good way to do it. Is that you can link to a private YouTube video, and so. Because I do that with my Patreon. Like, nobody else can see it, but they can see it because they have the link. And then you could upload it to YouTube, and it's so easy to upload to YouTube. I don't know if you've ever done it on your phone, but it's a piece of cake. And, you could just upload it and then delete it off your phone. And then if you wanted to give them a full, like, hour that wasn't live, you could probably do it that way.
Yeah, there's a ton of options. I guess another reason I chose Instagram subscription is because I'm already used to Instagram itself. I'm already posting on there. Everything is right there. It's not a separate app that I have to go into. Like, I'm already using Instagram a lot as it is, so why not just put it there?
Yeah, that's true. And the users on there are already highly invested in Instagram, not just you, but like, so they're like, hey, I can get more content that still probably shows up in their feed just like anything else. Mm-hmm. It's just curated for them because it's what they pay for. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think that's why the Patreon is a little bit limiting and why it's tough, because it's a completely separate thing. There has to be other reasons people have it. And that's where, like, private giveaways or private access to shop links and discount codes and stuff like that, I think, is more where Patreon's benefit is. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It just seems like a whole other entity, and I didn't know if I wanted to put my time and energy into learning a whole new thing.
Mm-hmm. That's.
Yeah.
I never want to learn anything new.
There's just too much. There's too much.
So, Becca, how are you choosing what to post when you were posting to Patreon?
I'm not posting to Patreon anymore.
You were posting to Patreon.
When I was.
How did you decide what you would and would not was worth posting?
I would every day or on Tuesdays is when I would post, and I would be like, what do I want to post today and what haven't I posted? So and honestly, it wasn't like a big deal. It wasn't like, it was very Becca-esque. It was like I set up the phone and was like, hey, gonna show you how to pull a wall.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! And they were all like 3-minute to 5-minute long videos. They were not like hefty, in length. And I would post it to YouTube, and then I'd post it onto Patreon, because Patreon, you can't post directly onto Patreon. I think they're changing that, because I think that was one of the critiques that they've had. But yeah, so it tended to work. It seemed like it worked pretty well, and I was getting like a fair amount of people. And if I had like stayed doing it, I think I could have. But like not having my wheel all the time is an issue, and like I have it all the time, but like pulling it out every day and like
You have to batch video record while you have it, and then you'd have to record enough for like 4 weeks.
that's not my style. Like that's
Plan it. You'd have to plan ahead, Becca.
Yeah, that is 100% not my style. I am gonna try and start doing that with I really need to start like taking videos of me just working on earrings and stuff, in the van, and I need to get like an actual little phone holder.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be difficult. Some of the content of just producing is just tripod, decent lighting, clear lighting so you can see what you're doing,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
Just getting those.
I
videos
have
taken.
3 tripods, and I only use one. And I just bought a 4th.
Do you have any recommendations? What are your tripod expertises? Let's hear them.
Alrighty. So, if you want to...
Are most of your videos you holding a piece and you're painting directly, so it has to be kind of like over the shoulder view or something like that?
Yeah, and that's what I've been struggling with, trying to set up my tripod in a really good position where they see not only me painting, but also mixing on my palette is a really big thing that I want people to see how I mix the color, how I'm moving my brush into the color. And I mean, to me, it's kind of like what I would want to see from another artist's perspective. If I'm paying for a live demo of painting or a demonstration of whatever, I want to see like everything. I want to see how much color she's putting on that paintbrush. I want to see how much is going on the palette, how she's mixing it, how much water is being applied, and then applying it to the surface of whatever you're painting. So yeah, my tripod right now is set up because I did the 2 paintings so far. So I've got this thing.
Telescopic.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that thing called?
Oh, jeez. Let me look on my Amazon because that's where I bought
Is that
it.
a light? Is that a light on the other side of it?
Yeah, so it's, there's a light here, there's a light here, and it comes with a little remote, so you can start your video, but like you have to download an app for it and all that jazz, and I was just not in the mood to do that.
I think my friend Deanna has that one, and she really likes it.
Yeah, it's good for a lot of things, but my phone is so damn heavy that it just like falls over. So I have to like twist it this way, and then I have the gripper on the back of my phone. Yeah, the Pop-It, so it gets in the way of this, and yeah, it's a lot. So, and it's also it's not as sturdy. Like it has grippers on the bottom here, but my table's wood. It's not gonna stick onto wood. It's gonna stick onto like a softer surface, I guess, like something that you could easily put like a sticker on.
Can I suggest something?
Sure.
You should get a rug tape. They have like the removable rug tape where you like stick it onto one side, and the other side you can clean it off with a piece of water, or like with water and a piece of sponge, whatever. I think you should put that on the bottom. I bet that would help.
Yeah, probably would, but I ordered a new one, so I'm not going to be using that one as often. It's on pre-order right now. It's called Gooseneck, I think. Oh, wait, was it a Gooseneck? And I'm just not on my
Gooseneck phone holder?
All right,
Is it
it's called
clamp onto the table?
All right, it's called Black Canvas Lamp with a classic wooden bottom base. It was $184. Huh. Yeah, and after shipping, it was $200, and it's on pre-order. And I like this one because it can be on the tabletop. The base is 5 pounds, so that sucker's not moving.
Wow. Okay, what is it called again?
It's called a canvas lamp. Here, let me see if I can.
Canvas lamp with desk clamp?
It can be a desk clamp, but I bought the wooden base with it.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's my new...
It looks like our microphone mount, Becca.
It kind of does.
You know what? If you see, there's a gooseneck one that looks like the microphone mount too.
Yeah, I think the reason why I said gooseneck is because they were showing how the gooseneck works versus their product, so they were comparing the two. And the gooseneck, like for example, I have this one that's a gooseneck type, and it just falls all over the place with weight. The nice one about the canvas lamp is that it won't fall over because it's completely metal and you can lock it in place.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, this tripod was one of the first ones that I got. This is actually my lamp that I use for painting. It's really bright. Wow, that's really bright.
Yeah, it's very bright.
Yeah, so I have that one. It has the phone hook right next to it, and then the round circle lamp, and then I have this handy dandy neck one that goes around your neck.
What?
And you put your phone right here. Yeah, and it's sideways. It makes your phone sideways. But this handy dandy one was $5 at Five Below. And it's $5 for a reason. So yeah, this one was fun to do live demos with. And then I have another one that's just a simple like tripod, 3 legs.
But the thing is, you are like intentionally thinking about the experience for the viewer. So
yeah,
like you're curating a better experience and getting them more value out of what you're giving. So
I don't know. I think your subscription needs to be $10. Like,
thank you.
Seems like you're trying a little too hard for $5.
I just love to buy products that I think I'm gonna like and then I don't like. Exhibit A, the microphone.
Which microphone did you get? Let's talk about that.
I'm not using it right now, actually. This is just audio coming straight from my tablet, but this is the microphone I got. It's a TC777 USB condenser microphone from Toner.
That's the original one you got?
Yeah, that's the microphone that I got for doing podcasting, and it's a piece of shit. I don't use it anymore. I think I used it once, and it only worked once.
Let's upload this audio to Amazon reviews for Toner.
This isn't... I'm not using it, though.
I know. I'm just joking.
See? Still in the box.
Oh, my goodness.
What a waste of $30. Should have known.
Sometimes you buy crap, and you're like, this will work for now. And then you're like, I'm willing to spend more money for like a experience. And you're like, okay. And then you just leapfrog that step the next time you need to buy something. And you're like, okay, let me get a middle of the road thing.
Yeah. I got a lot of middle of the roads.
Yeah, you're like, I think I've probably spent $300 on iPhone holders. I'm going to spend $120.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the white one that I've been using was around $80 off Amazon. Yeah. And this one that I use as my lamp was $45. I bought that at Kohl's. And then, you know what? The $5 one is going strong.
Sometimes simple just works, and it's like...
It does.
It's
it
so
really
true.
Does.
With the one that I do where I used to do the videos like point of view ones, and I would just stick it in the holder of my apron.
Yeah, I
Just
have an
in the
apron, but
front-facing
I
camera,
don't.
turn it on like half zoom so it's like fisheye, and then stick it in my apron, and then I would do whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people just put it right in their shirt too, and if you have an extra shelf like we do, Becca, easy peasy.
I know. Seriously. I've done a lot of things. I just most of the time I just find the place that I can lean it up against. And I'm like, this will work. But I really do need to kind of figure it out.
I think you can makeshift your mic mount. You could probably just swap something on the mic mount that would work.
Oh, you're right.
Just swap out the mic part and use a phone mount.
You're so
Clever.
smart.
You've
Or you
already
could just
got a
tape
mounting
it to the
system.
mic. Just duct tape it to the mic.
Your whole phone. No. I was trying to imagine.
I can see her like duct taping a case to it, and the case is like stuck on there so well that she just pops her phone in and out of it when she needs to use it. Oh. No, that's not a good idea, Becca. Don't do that.
Me and Brooke are like, wow. The rednecks in us are like, what?
Yes.
I do have an extra case.
You can make it work with the right duct tape.
So how is the pod, like we kind of talked about the podcast a little bit, but I want to know what you felt like was something you didn't expect when you were like starting the podcast and doing the podcast, I guess.
I didn't expect the worry that I have over it. I thought it was just going to be like laid back, fun, something fun to do, shooting the shit with another friend. And now I'm like, damn, why did you create a podcast? Because one, I don't really have a lot of time to pursue it. And two, it's really hard to get a new guest every single time. And I prefer not to do a solo episodes because I just go off on tangents and then we're not even talking about the topic anymore. But yeah, I think I'm just more stressed out about the podcast more than ever now because I just have so much
thing to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, that totally makes sense, and that's why we do it the way that we do it, is because like if we had to try really, really, really hard, like we still try, but I mean, like if we had to like go out of our way to kind of do this, it would be miserable for both of us.
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to go out of my way, and I really want to continue doing it. Like, I do enjoy doing it, and I enjoy the topics that I talk about with my other guests, and I feel like they're topics that aren't talked about enough, and I think my topics kind of go into the mental health of an artist more than anything, and there's so many little things that make a small business successful, but you can talk about all those layers about like how to set up a business, how to do this, how to do that, and you get all this information, but what's going on in the background? What's inside your own mind? What are you thinking of? How is this affecting your work? Like, those are the little things that I really enjoy knowing, and knowing that I'm not the only one struggling with those things, which is nice to know. So that's one of the reasons why I want to continue the podcast, is that I truly believe that whoever's listening to it, they're getting something out of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want to continue it as much as I struggle with getting it finished and taking the time out of my own schedule to get it done and edit it all by myself. And yeah, it takes a full day because I listen back to everything, and I'm probably going to listen back to this.
How long do you typically record for?
Oh,
Like
it
like
can,
full length, like raw when you record.
it's probably around 2 hours.
Okay.
And then you turn
But
it to what?
my longest one was 4 hours.
That's freaking great. I love it.
Well, I just couldn't stop talking.
How much did you trim it down from 4 hours?
Maybe 20 minutes.
Oh,
Nice.
well, that's good. I thought you were gonna say like an hour out of it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that editing gotta suck.
No, I I edit out things that I'm like, yeah, that shouldn't be talked about. Because there are some things that me and my guests, it's two friends shooting the shit, basically, and sometimes you say something that thousands of other people might not want to listen to.
Do you want I have advice. I have advice.
I love advice.
Something, I don't know what you're editing on. Are you editing on GarageBand?
It's right on the Anchor app, the app that I create the podcast with.
Okay, great. Does it show you like the ups and downs of voices? Okay. So if you like say something in your podcast and you're like, ooh, I shouldn't have said that, just like do that. Like clap.
It'll spike on the
spike
on
really
the visual
high
when that
so that
happens.
you can find it. So
That's
there's
such a good thing.
yeah, so
gonna write it down.
there's also tools that you can buy, I'm sure, on Amazon that are clicker tools, and when you click it, it clicks to a frequency that you can't hear, but it's really high. Yeah,
It's a
so
dog whistle.
voice recorders do it, when they're doing like audiobooks and stuff, so they can go back to edit.
I was actually, when I first started, I would write down the timestamp on my notes page that I have in front of me all the time, and then I would go back to that timestamp and then edit it out. But now I just listen through the entire thing because, I like to edit down like really long pauses or dogs barking outside if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's distracting in the moment when you were writing things down? Because I would feel like I would be like, okay, what?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then I'd be like, what were we talking about?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's why something really quick, even if you like snap your fingers or something really quick that spikes it is nice. We've done it a few times, like where we're like, ah! and we like clap because we're like, ooh, we need to remember to cut that out. Because we don't cut very much stuff out, but if something is said that needs to be cut out, we will,
Yeah, very few and far between.
Yeah, I think my last episode we talked about like going outside naked, and I left that in. I left it all in. I was like, yeah, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I think some of that stuff gives you more character to understand more about your personality, whereas it might put off a few people, but in reality, it gives the people that are more like fans a sense of who you are, right?
Yeah, I actually wanted to bring that up too about the subscriptions. I told myself like, hey, this is an opportunity for your following and the people who are paying you, who are your following actually, like to get to know you even more. Like they want to know the nitty-gritty behind the scenes bullshit that goes on. Then give them your true authentic self. Don't try to edit yourself down. Don't put up those barriers. Just be yourself through the subscription because why not, right? Like I don't want to have to edit out anything for that stuff for my subscription because you're paying to see who I really am.
What kind of stuff did you decide to? Is it just how you run your live video and what you talk about in there versus doing stories that are specific for them, or? It's
more personality things. Like I'm a weirdo. Like, let's just say it. I'm weird, and I say things that other people will be like, "What the fuck?" But to me, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm a weirdo too.
I think there's more weirdos out there than straight people, like straight line people. But yeah, the weirdos get together, and we can change the world.
I'm weird in certain people. Like, there's very few people that get to see that personality side of me. Like Becca, Rachel, and probably a couple others, and that's about it.
Oh, come on, Ryan.
I don't know if it's a hey, I've got this online personality, or if it's like whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but
I think from what I've like noticed is it's just when he's really comfortable, you know, like he wasn't like weird until probably like a while when I was like coming over, you know, but now he'll come over to like and like, you know, he's weird like everybody else. I think that Ryan, you've been taught to be professional, you know?
I don't know if I don't know.
Yes, you have.
You think it's been taught to me, or it's just how I've done things so that it's like that's my standard of how I interact with people on a professional way before I show personality, because
Ryan,
professional is first and foremost.
You went to a Catholic school.
Okay.
You were taught. You were taught this stuff. I mean, like, I was too. I just rejected it. But, like, I can still be pretty professional if I need to. People don't think I can, but I can.
Yeah, when I was thinking, I don't know if you guys do this, but I really wanted to go to NCECA, but in my mind, I'm always thinking, I'm going to act like a totally different person around everybody because I don't know anyone. But then if I get like an Airbnb with someone who is my friend online and we've never chatted in person before, we've never interacted, and then they're going to be like, this crazy bitch is living with me for the next 3 days. We're like, sorry, did I hide something? But yeah, I've been told that in person, I'm like, this sweet little angel has a squeaky little voice and she's a little lady. And then when you get to know me, I'm like, I like to say that my devil horns are hiding under my halo.
I love that.
Yeah. I can be crazy.
I feel like I'm like different. I'm definitely different depending on I don't know, like if I'm around a lot of people that I don't know, I'm not going to be like I won't be funny. But if there's one person that I know, I'll be like a ham, you know. But but it definitely dampens the mood when you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know where this comment's gonna go because I don't know the process in their minds when they're gonna hear this. It's gonna go through accepted the way I'm saying it. Where if like Becca heard it, it might sound a certain way, or if Rachel heard it, it might come out a certain way. So it's like I'm just not gonna say that comment because I don't want to risk offending somebody in that moment, because it's like, did it really add anything to the situation, or was it just like, where the hell did that come from? You know?
It just made them see your truer colors. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, Ryan. Oh, hey, Brooke.
Yeah.
What kind of kiln do you have?
Oh, I have a scut kiln, 1027.
A 1027?
Yes.
Good catch, Becca.
What do you have?
I don't have a kiln, but Ryan.
I have an L&L kiln.
L&L kiln, and you should too.
Good catch, Becca.
Ryan, why do you like your L&L kiln?
Okay, we've been talking about element channels, changing out elements, easy peasy. I'm sure we'll talk about some of the customer service things where you can get your supplies. You know, there's a lot of distributors around that you can get those from. Yeah, I think the element swapping super easy, piece of cake. Have you had to do that with your kiln before, or did you get yours brand new?
Mine?
Brooke.
Brooke?
I got mine brand new. I have not changed anything but the thermocouple and the vent.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
I remember asking you guys a while ago, like, when is the right time to change out your elements? And I think you guys said, like, 200 firings, something like that. So I'm at 95, I think. So I feel like I have time. And I have checked them. I'm not just going off the number on the
Right.
screen.
It's when your firings become longer, is what I always say. Like, you know. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh, you know when I was actually looking online and I went to hotkilns.com, you know, and because
I thought you were going to say Hot Topic.
Hot Topic. I went to hotkilns.com and my friend wants a kiln, and L&L was definitely in the mid price range. So, I mean, there is one that's a little bit below it, but Scott's almost higher than L&L, I feel like, and they're all around the same like price range, but yeah, I felt really good about the prices that they had.
Yeah, I know sometimes you're like, oh, I'll talk about this product, but if you don't have to pay for it, then it's like, once you do, you're like, okay, I feel more confident about recommending this over something else, or,
Yeah, you mean like Diamond Core? Like, you don't have to pay for it because they give you all the stuff for free? So that you can,
But I have paid for Diamond Core, Rebecca.
I know, I'm kidding.
I'm confused over here, like, are you sponsored by Diamond Core too?
They give me products for free, but I paid for it. I paid hundreds of dollars for Diamond Core as well.
Yeah. True.
But anyway. What?
Okay.
I didn't hear what you said.
Will this go out before NCECA? Or will it not?
I don't know.
It might. Okay, well, if you're at NCECA right now, then go over and see them at their booth, because I'm sure they will be there and they'd love to talk to you and tell them that we sent you. And yeah.
They'll have some kilns on display.
And remember that NCECA has special pricing. So if you want to get a kiln, usually NCECA has special pricing. So if you want to get a kiln, that is a great time to get a kiln. So head over to them and see if they're doing, I don't know if they will or not, honestly, but see if they're doing any special pricing for NCECA. And they
don't want to have to transport that stuff back. So
yeah, they don't want to have to transport it back, but they're also on the East Coast. They're in New Jersey. They're close to you. So yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Close to Brooke.
I don't have room for another kiln, sorry.
Well, that's okay. When the Scott craps out, you can buy an L&L.
At hotkilns.com.
Hotkilns.com, everybody. Get your L&L.
Get your L&L. We should make a jingle for them.
Yeah.
We'll work on that. You're not going to NCECA?
Nah.
It's a damn shame. We can work on the L&L jingle.
Have you been to NCECA before?
Never, unfortunately. I had the opportunity to go in college, but I wasn't a ceramic major.
Oh.
Yeah, they were giving out, they had like a set tickets for students to go to NCECA if you were a ceramics major, and I was a painting major, so that's that. And at the time, I had no idea what NCECA was.
Do you, are you more introverted or extroverted, do you think?
Oh, I'm an introvert when you first get to know me, then I'm an extrovert after maybe like a day or two. But right now, I feel like an extrovert.
You're going to say a year or two.
What is your opinion? Am I an extrovert or an introvert?
We don't know.
Come on, just by this hour.
By the hour.
My face isn't actually this
I think you'd
red.
enjoy NCECA if you can get over the vast number of people.
Yeah, I've heard that it's just either it's a place to go to meet up with your ceramic friends that you met online. It's a place to learn a lot and do a lot of the seminar, like workshop talks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place to learn about new products for ceramic supplies. It sounds like a ton of fun to me. Like, I would love to go someday, but I'm hoping that they come closer to New York or the East Coast where I'm at, so.
Aren't they in
Yeah.
Virginia next year?
I think it's in Richmond next year.
Ooh.
That's just a train right away.
Yeah. I actually had 2 opportunities to go to NCECA. I had Dick Blick, Art Supplies, emailed me in early 2020, right before the pandemic, asking me if I wanted to go to NCECA to be one of their ceramic supply people to show them how to use their product. And I was like, at the time in 2020, that was maybe 6 months after going full time and growing my Instagram, and I was like super shy, like complete introvert at that moment, and I was like, no, I feel really uncomfortable, like I don't think I can do it. And now if they ask me, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'll go.
There you go.
Dick Blick, come on, Dick Blick.
Yeah, and then I recently had Speedball reach out and ask if I was going to NCECA, and they would want me as a underglaze demo. Yeah, and I
That's
said, unfortunately, I'm not going.
They would have paid for your ticket.
I realize that now.
There's your in for next year.
Oh yeah,
2 options on the table.
That train. I'm waiting. 365 days. Let's go, Speedball.
You just got to keep up that. Figure out those Speedball underglazes a little bit more, and then you're like, I can talk about this, and there you go, leaf green, little leaf green.
Just one bottle. I like to put all of my Speedball into the Amico bottles because they have a larger top, because you can't really put a paintbrush in these ones.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
Does it fit exactly, or is it less than 2 ounces?
It's a little less, but
Knew it.
Usually, I think this one was actually I bought a couple months ago, and I've only used like a tidbit of it, so
it's always filled a little less.
Yeah, they're always filled a little less than the actual size of the bottle.
I mean, because that's what those are the same bottles that Stroke and Coats come in. It's not like I'm unfamiliar with the bottle.
Yeah, they have Stroke and Coats in the same bottles.
Yeah.
They're in the back. I can't reach them.
Yeah.
You just need to get pints. You need to get Speedball pints.
That's too much.
Too much underglaze, or they'll last you like too long?
It would last me way too long, and
That's true.
Yeah. I think
your studio space, you kind of need the small bottles.
Yeah.
You know what you can do with the Speedball ones though is like get the 2 pint ones or the 2 ounce ones, and you can put them into the you can you can go to like the
pure egg container holders. Is that what you're talking about? No.
You can have like empty watercolor containers or something.
The condiment holders. You can buy like a pack of 150 condiment holders at condiment holders. You know, like the 2 ounce condiment holders that you get at like a fast food restaurant or whatever, like that you get ranch in.
Oh, you're talking about the little plastic cups. She's talking about the little plastic cups.
Oh, you see, I'm from New York, and they're trying to outphase all plastic stuff.
Okay.
Say, hey, do you want to get rid of your plastic things that will not get thrown away? I will use them. I just need 20 of them.
Yeah, but they don't have lids.
Yeah, they do. You can buy the lids. Yeah, see, if you're going to NCECA, I'd just give you some.
Mm.
You can buy them at any restaurant supply place.
Maybe not in New York, though.
They're 2 ounce?
Yeah, they're 2 ounces. You can get 1 ounce ones too. So if you were like mixing colors, you could just mix like an ounce in and then store it away. Like what I would do if I was doing it in your situation is I would put them in the 1 ounce containers or the 2 ounce, whatever you feel is more appropriate. But then maybe do a wet box and keep them enclosed in the wet box, because then they're always, because even in the twisty ones they get a little bit dry. I would probably put them in a wet box just so you're not losing all that moisture out of them, you know.
That's a good point. But I have this handy dandy rolling shelf thing that my husband built for me that pulls in and out of my desktop, that has all of my
That's pretty handy.
2 ounce, and they fit perfectly in there. I think I only have about 1/4 of an inch space, so I couldn't put them. It helps me, like with painting, like they're just right there, right below me, and so putting them in a wet box just adds another step to my process.
That's fair. You probably aren't using as many colors as I do either. I use all the colors.
Yeah, I use like a minute amount, and I'm not, whatever I'm mixing, it's straight on my palette, on my watercolor palette. Like I don't take chunks of the underlays and mix into a bottle unless there's a color like I use all the time.
Yeah. That's fair.
I feel like that also differentiates what you're showing people through the subscription. Like most people probably just use the color out of the bottle. They're like, I want this color, so you just grab that color, and then I don't know, maybe a lot of people do the mixing, but coming from the painter background, like you have all that skill set to know how to do that. So
yeah, I just take it right out of the bottle, mix it on my palette with my brush. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy pumpkin squeezy. So we're gonna figure out how to do neon colors with underglaze. We're gonna figure it. We don't know anything about it, but we're gonna figure it out.
You're just going in blind. Or we could just hit up Speedball and ride them until they actually produce it.
Yeah.
Or Amico or Spectrum or Mako or whoever out there really wants to make Brooke happy.
Are there stroke and coats or glazes that come in those colors?
No.
Yeah, I was on your Instagram, Becca, trying to I was like, does she have a neon pink in hers? But no. Nothing that's cutting it. You see how red my cheeks are right now? That's the color.
There are some good pinks, but like pinks are freaking hard for some reason. It's just like, I think it's because red's so hard, and like, so in order to get pink, you obviously mix white with red, but in order to get like a neon-y pink, you'd have to mix red with white with orange, like a little bit to get like.
But the white will
the white
dull it
muddy.
down. Yeah, it makes it muddy. Yeah.
And so like, yeah, so it's just hard. I mean, I have pinks. I have a pink. It's just not neon, you know?
Mm-hmm. Me too. The closest to the brightest pink that I can get is mixing Amico Rose, bright red, and coral pink. And it still doesn't cut it. Like, I need a pink that is so bright and vibrant that it hurts my eyes.
That's not going to happen.
Is that mostly for the flowers you're painting right now?
Flowers, hummingbird feathers. There's there's fish in the ocean that are that bright. There's plants. Yeah, there's a lot of things that have that bright fuchsia, neon, magenta-y, like, it's hard to describe it, but it's so luscious, and it's so bright that being able to have that color will broaden our spectrum of all of our other colors that we want to have that brightness quality. Like, if I had that neon pink, I'd be able to take my purple to another level.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah.
I wonder if like, okay, here's what I wonder, and I don't know, I'm reaching into a lot of weird waters here, but like, uh, I wonder if you could, instead of, this is also why we need a clear underglaze. I'm obsessed with the fact that we need a clear underglaze. Okay, so I think that you could probably do maybe a light pink and then add a red mason stain to it.
That sounds right.
To like achieve that.
Possibility.
And then, because like there's some bright fucking mason stains. Like there's like fuchsia mason stains. Like what, you know what pink she needs is the pink that is cobalt before it's fired.
That pink? That color?
Yeah, that's the pink she needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there mason stains that go that pink?
I don't know.
I looked into it, to be honest. I was like, neon pink ceramic supplies. I went through all the mason stains that are sold on Clay King. I went through all of the underglaze brands, and nothing's cutting it. And if you go on, I just Googled neon pink underglaze, and Walmart supposedly sells ceramic supplies, and that photo is false.
Oh my God, it's so wrong.
It is. I'm like, that is false advertisement. I got so excited when I saw that.
What was it, acrylic paint or something?
No, it's Stroke and Coat. It's Stroke and Coat, and it's coral something, and it is like a dark red, like pinky color.
Yeah,
and like
these mofos had like a neon pink image, and I'm like, false. And then I looked it up on an actual clay site because I'm not going to buy it through Walmart, and it was wrong.
Okay. I also have another question that's like completely not off topic, but off topic. Have you ever heard of Nova Color?
No.
Paint?
Nova. Okay. No.
Nova, no. Okay. Well, do you still do 2D paintings like on canvases?
I haven't 2D painted in a while, to be honest.
Okay, well, the next time you do, message me and be like, Becca, what was that paint? It's called Nova Color, and they do have fluorescent paints, and it's the best paint in the whole world. They make it in Culver City in California. And it's really great.
When I do paint, if I ever get back into canvas painting, it'll probably be oil paint.
Okay, then never mind.
I mean, Becca, I see you always have, this is probably not an answer, but you always have like nail polishes that are pink, and you've used nail polishes on your stuff. Like, is there a way to incorporate that and just say it's not food safe? And find a way to seal it in there, and
That's actually what I was gonna suggest. Is that I thought about it and I was like, I don't know. So yeah, you can use nail polishes and paint on them, and then
that's what some of your stud earrings were, wasn't it? Wasn't it nail polish?
Yeah, but I had some issues with them curing, but the ones that really worked well. But like, I also wonder, like, I also wonder if maybe you're just firing it too high. Like if you went through your whole process and then went over it with like an underglaze or whatever, a stroke and coat,
the color might burn just to the right consistency that I want.
Right. And then went back and went to 04 instead of 6 or 5 or whatever you're firing to. That might be better, because I can show you the colors that I have at that temp.
But here's my thing. When you refire, so say I fired all the way up to my glaze firing, I fired a 5.5, and if I send some of my glazes back in the kiln at a lower temperature, doesn't that change some of the glazes? They change colors?
It definitely depends on the glaze. So like some of them can change and some of them can't. Like I do that with all of my cups. I put them back through for a lower firing, and I didn't like, there was one that just turned like brown and it was gross. But most of them are pretty okay.
Yeah, because I know Amico Potter's Choice seaweed burns brown when you fire it at a low temperature for a second time around.
Some of them definitely do.
It just seems like a lot more testing that I just don't have the ambition for.
Imagine if you found that pink. Would you share that? Or would you be like, found it?
I would share it. I'm not that mean.
No, I'm saying like you share it to your group, not to me. I don't really need
the
pink,
subscription? Yeah, but I had a ton of people message me after my story that I put out saying I need a neon pink underglaze. I had so many people be like, you need to let me know if you find it. And I have to let them know.
I just released it to my subscribers. You can join and find out.
Right? I'm going to do that. I've been actually doing that. People ask me random little things. And I'm like, well, you can become a subscriber and you'll learn.
Yeah, it's like I release my glaze combos every month. You can find out all my past ones that I released by joining.
Exactly.
I've had to start doing that with my consultations. Like, I want to pick your brain. I'm like, that's great. You can schedule a consultation if you'd like.
Pay to pick my brain. I ain't just gonna give you it.
Like, or you could listen to the 175 episodes we have out of the Wheel Talk podcast.
Right? Does it annoy you guys, just in general, I don't want to be mean, but I'm going to say the idiocy of some people on Instagram asking questions that are obviously in like hashtags or in captions or on your website or in a podcast episode? Like, does it annoy you, as it annoys me, to have the same question over and over again that's obvious?
What's a question example you're talking about?
So for me, I get, what paint do you use? What underglaze are you using? And I hashtag it in every post.
I don't think people read the hashtags. I will say that.
All right, so I'm just being petty.
No, I think I also take it as like somebody could have just started following you yesterday, and they're asking their question. Yeah. So that's the way I take it. I take it as if they know nothing about me. They know nothing about what I do. If I do a podcast, they don't know anything of that. So like they could just find me.
Yeah, I guess that's the difference of someone who has a business page, goes through all of the posts and all of the informational stuff to give to everyone else. So as a person who goes through that, I'm going to put in the work when I see another artist post something that I'm interested in. So I'm going to go to their website. I'm going to read their about page. I'm going to put in my own work to figure out what I want to know before messaging them.
Yeah, I definitely do that, but I think it's because I get the questions a lot. I think that once you get the questions, you're like, okay, I'll put in the work.
What the other side of that looks like. So you're like, I'm going to do my work because I don't want to put that burden on them. But a lot of people don't know that what's involved on the other side of it. They don't know that they're one of 30 people talking to you that day, or 100 or whatever.
That's true.
But feel
it's in the same post. Like 3 people commented the same thing.
And then just ignore them and don't answer them.
That's what I'm also very petty, and if that would happen to me, I would take extra time to be like, see the hashtags above, or like sometimes I respond with a picture of the hashtags, and
that's another level.
Or
I like
stamp the picture in a comment. So you took a screenshot of it, you went to their thing, you messaged them, and then you sent them an image of the thing.
Yeah, just extra time and effort out of your own day. You could have just sent them to answer their question instead of sending them a picture.
Or like, I mean, like if they message me, not if they like comment, but like, if
Well, I thought this was right out in the open for the whole world to see.
if the comment was like under it, I'd be like, see above. Because
just put your finger up, just do the finger icon up, and that's it.
Yeah, with like maybe an arrow, because like, and I feel like that's or that with a little winky face, be like, hey, if you read a little bit more, you'd notice that.
It's hard because when somebody else stumbles upon that and they see your comment to that person, they're like, wow, you're being an asshole. But like,
exactly.
But it's hard not to say, how do I not be an asshole? But some people just like get under your skin a little bit. So you're like, I'm valid in saying something.
Yeah, I get your point. Yeah, I don't reply to most of them because I don't want other people to notice my true self.
Yeah.
But it does get under my skin, and it's one of the pet peeves of running an online business is that people don't read.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely on the guilty side of that sometimes too. Like, I ask these questions and then I like, start scrolling and I'm like, oh, there's the answer. And, but most of the time I'll go back and like delete it or say like disregard. But yeah, I'll tell you what though. I'll tell you a story about a couple, maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. Yeah, it was before Christmas. I like commented on somebody's video being kind of shmeh, and then he like commented back, and we had this back and forth. And I was like, at the end, I was like, okay, I'll instead of being super petty and really, really mean, I'll be a little bit nice.
But it wasn't somebody you initially knew when you started the comment, or you did know them?
I don't know them, no.
Okay.
So anyway, we had this back and forth. At the very end, I basically was like, well, I really follow pottery for the quality, and that's why I don't follow you. And oh yeah, like, if you want me to go there, I'll go there, right? And and then I actually ended up deleting that comment. And but
was it after they saw it?
After they saw it. And I deleted it like 5 minutes later, and then I blocked him. And that motherfucker messaged me on Facebook. He found me and messaged me on Facebook because he was mad that I blocked him. And I was like, I don't fucking care.
That's so under this person's skin that they sought you out.
And I was like, you can't do this if this is getting, because I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, and he was like insistent on my involvement being super, super like underhanded. And I was like, actually it wasn't, but like, it's fine. I said it at 2 a.m. But yeah, he was like so insistent on like finding me that he found me on Facebook. And I was like, and all I said back was, wow. I deleted it and then blocked him again.
Was it your private personal Facebook or a business Facebook?
You know what? I don't remember.
That would have been something if it was your personal.
I'm surprised you even saw the message on Facebook.
Oh, I saw it 2 weeks later.
Oh, wow. Ooh, he was stewing for 2 weeks on that.
Man, I wonder what the stew tasted like.
But sometimes you post something too, and if it reaches an audience of a lot, like if it go like the Darvan one with the speedball, like it
Yeah.
reached a group of people that don't follow you, and they get in the mix. And then I got a comment where somebody was like, "This process did not work for me,
I
and
read it.
you should not be posting about this if you don't know what you're talking about." And I was like, "You're telling me I shouldn't talk anything about this because it didn't work for you, but it works for a lot of other people."
Right.
And they deleted the comment, and they were gone.
It's like maybe your Darvan was expired. Maybe it was bad. Maybe it was this. Like, maybe you're an idiot. Like,
It's like, okay, just because something doesn't work for you doesn't mean information should not be shared about it. It's like, I'm putting this information out there, and you're mad because it doesn't work for you. It's like, okay, move along.
Yeah. It's like I wanted to put a really bad sorry, brain fart. I was just gonna say, like, just because I like sugary drinks doesn't mean you have to drink it. It's getting late. What time is it for you guys? Where are you guys?
East Coast.
he's in your time zone.
9:00, 9:10.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do I
We've
always
been talking
think
way longer
that?
than an hour, Brooke.
Yeah, I see that. It's fine. I'm totally fine. I'm fine.
It's 7:10 here.
Do you?
So I'm in Colorado.
I had one about your. Do you feel like the podcast kind of gives you a little bit of a taste of giving something that's sort of to a exclusive group? It sort of gives you a taste of that exclusivity, like the subscriptions, where you're doing something extra that is out of what you get paid to do and where you make your money. So it's like, does that kind of relate at all? And do you share that kind of thought process of how you decide what to create there?
Yeah, when I first started to think about giving subscription, knowing that I would gain this money from the subscription, I was like, oh yeah, why not monetize my creativity just a bit more? Because I get the monetization for my Instagram Reels, and I was like, yeah, sweet, more money from Meta, why not? But I was thinking, I'm going to take all this money that I gained from the subscription and I'm going to put it into the podcast. And
Okay.
I'm almost 2 months into the subscription right now, and now I'm like, and I haven't even done a podcast episode this year yet. I know I put one out in January, but I recorded that in December. And now I'm like, well, maybe I'm just going to keep the podcast as it was, like, and the money that I'm getting from the subscription, I'm just going to put right back in my business. Like, I'm not even going to worry about putting it in the podcast. But
Maybe you could buy a new mic.
dude, I had it
Why
in
did
my
you buy a new
Amazon
mic?
cart. But then it goes back and forth to the same thing with the damn tripods. I'm going to get all these mics and not like them.
I thought you got a better mic. I thought you said you decided on the ship mic and you upgraded to something better.
I have it in my Amazon cart and I haven't bought it yet.
Oh, okay. Would that make you feel more confident in recording? Is that something to get you on the track of recording as well?
I mean, is my audio not coming in very good right now?
Oh, it sounds good. I'm just
Great.
trying to
See,
see
then
if
I
that's
don't
a
need a new
roadblock
mic.
for you besides the making time for it, you know?
I think it's more of just a mental hurdle right now, like making the time for it, taking time out of my creating my other work, which is more important to me right now.
Yeah.
I'm also struggling with finding artists who actually want to sit down and talk to me and take time of that out of their day and schedule it. And right now I'm in this email limbo waiting for another person to email me back to schedule a date. Like, I've been ready to schedule this date for weeks now. And
Dude, I'll do a 4-hour podcast with you.
4 hours. I do take it all day. I'm like, I start at 1 o'clock at the latest, and my husband gets home from work around 5, and I'm like, all right, as long as I'm done before 5 o'clock, cool, 4 hours.
You shoot me a message. We'll talk about mental health and pottery.
Okay, sure.
Becca will have a lot to say about that, I'm sure.
I got a lot to say about that.
Alrighty, I'll put you on my list, Becca.
That's where you gotta just, there's some people that you send out feelers for, and then you get commitments, and the commitments might be 4 weeks out, and then you still gotta send out feelers to 3 to 4 people, because you can assume somebody's not gonna follow through, right?
Definitely,
Right.
yeah.
And how are you scheduling these people? Because that matters. That matters. We tried to do it like back and forth, and what we've ended up with is a really good system, I feel like.
Yeah, I really like your guys' system of sending the person to the website and choosing the date and time for themselves, because that takes you out of the equation and the back and forth bouncing messaging. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. And I was actually thinking about it today. I was like, why don't I just adopt Becca and Ryan's way of doing this?
Because just send a Calendly. I think Calendly is a pretty common one too. That I don't know if there's a free version of that where you set your schedule and then you send them your schedule and they book it themselves based on whatever.
I can actually do it on my website. Squarespace is a really good website if you guys want to get on that boat. I'm not sponsored by them. I just really like them. Yeah, Squarespace website, they have a calendar, booking appointments. They actually even started doing memberships, which is the same as Patreon and the same as Instagram subscription. Like, I could do it through my website if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But
it'd be like exclusive blog posts and
yeah, blog, video, private videos like you do, Becca. Like, they have it all.
Yeah. Yeah, do that, because that takes that just takes the stress out of it, Yeah.
Yeah,
and
you're
they
right.
can send it to somebody and they can book it a month in advance. They can book it a week in advance. It doesn't matter. Like Andrew did it for, I don't know, 2 weeks from now. Like, and we've got some people that have done it like that were like a month later.
Yeah.
Like he had to remind me that we were even doing it.
And don't feel like you have to. When we were initially doing it, we were like, we've got to have an open schedule because we can pretty much do it whenever. But if we just say, okay, Becca and I, we're going to schedule, it's always going to be a window from 7 to 10 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. And we can schedule anytime and we can cancel days if we can't do it those days. And then people can contour to those time frames.
Yeah.
Even if it's a month out.
Yeah. I think I also have to dig deep on what time frame works for me, because I'm not a night owl and I'm not a morning person. Like, I'm right in between.
Well, if 1 o'clock works for you, then that works for other people too.
Yeah, but it's also the point of scheduling my work, because we all know ceramics is time sensitive with drying out, and I like painting on greenware, so I have to paint at a certain time before my mugs dry out. And yeah, it's just, I just need to get better with scheduling on my own time too.
You know what Nike says? Just do it.
You're not wrong. Yeah. How many guests do you guys plan on having this year for Real Talk?
Well, since we're running out of topics, I don't even know. Like,
I think we set a goal for ourselves. I think we said 12. Did we say one a month or did we say 10 again? We did 10 last year. 10 was our goal for interviewees last year. And based on the pace that we're already at, I feel like we're going to hit 10 easily.
Yeah.
We've probably already interviewed 4 and have another 1 or 2 on the book. So it's like, I think 12 is what we're shooting for.
That's good.
If we really wanted to grow, I think that doing more interviews would be ideal, because that's how Paul Blaze has grown so quickly, is because every single podcast he does is with another person. So he's getting all of their people as well,
Yeah.
So if we had the hard, fast goal to super grow our podcast so we could start making more money with it, then I think that we could easily, get over 12, maybe, like, a ton of, like,
Yeah,
we do one
yeah.
a week. like we do a podcast a week, so it's like we could easily get those people in, but we consciously decided when we started the podcast to make sure that if we have an interviewee, there's a specific reason we have them on. So, like you, we wanted to specifically ask you about the subscriptions. Obviously we want to learn about your other life and stuff, but we don't want to just like talk about ceramics. Like, we don't want to talk about what the person last week talked about,
Yeah, yeah.
like the same old, same old. I learned it in college and I fell in love. Like,
Yeah.
like, that's not something we're interested in. So,
Definitely.
Move into the nitty gritty so that you can hopefully, and whatever you get into nitty gritty doesn't have to touch every single audience member. Like,
Oh, no. Yeah.
we could go deep into a community studio, running a community studio, like I talked to Ben Clark today about. And it's like, this is only going to relate to people that have their own community studios or have an interest in that. Or maybe they work in a community studio, like they can relate or just see the behind the scenes of how that stuff works. But
yeah,
they have something interesting and unique to share. And I don't feel. Do you ever feel like iffy about certain questions to ask because you're like, ooh, I probably wouldn't ask this in normal conversation because it feels intrusive. But since you're on a podcast, you're like, can I ask this? Like, will they answer me?
I ask anything. If they don't want to answer it. I write my notes and it comes out of my mouth. It might not come out of my mouth the same way I wrote it down, but it comes out.
Yeah, that's why we're a good team, because I'm more like you, where it's like, how much money do you make? like I'll just like blurt it out, and he's, a little bit more cautious about that stuff sometimes.
Well,
but
I try to say, like, if you don't mind me asking and you don't have to answer.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the equivalent of, I'm just kidding, but like.
But I really want to know. Yeah. I like my podcasts. I like listening to your guys' podcasts, even if the topics don't really pertain to me. I'm still going to listen.
Do you listen to the beginning part when we banter?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I just started up another podcast. It's called, I was listening to it. It's called, it's about cults. And, it's these two girls, and they banter at the beginning for like 10 minutes about like what's the cultiest thing, and I cannot stand it. I like skip through every single time. So this is me saying, if you do skip through our banter at the beginning of our episodes, fine with me. Like,
well, it's hard to pinpoint where your banter stops, though. So I don't want to be sitting there going.
We started adding chapter
15
markers
seconds.
in there because we got feedback from a few people that say that.
Yeah, Ryan has chapter marks.
Oh.
The last maybe 20 episodes have chapter marks, so it says like question of the day or topic of the day or.
Oh, you mean like in the
probably
the notes of the episode?
No, I put it in there. It might be accessible on Apple Podcasts. I don't know how it comes through on Spotify. Maybe it doesn't on Spotify.
It does not on Spotify.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe it's only accessible on certain listening avenues.
Yeah, I just use Spotify.
But yeah, it's hard because you don't know if it's going to be a 35-minute intro or an hour,
It's fine by me. I mean, that's another reason or another part of the topic of sorry. I imagine someone like sitting down and tying them to the chair, and I'm like, I'm making you watch this. But having all that banter is just another step of having the people who want to listen to you get to know you better. Yeah, that falls into the category of comfort zones, boundaries, all that jazz.
Yeah, that's where there will be people at Ensika that will come up to us and will know about things that we bantered about. And it'll be about our lives, and they'll throw those comments in there, and you'll be like, what? You? Oh, man, you listened
weren't there.
intently to this. Yeah.
Speaking of intensely, I saw that you went to a burlesque show. That's fun.
Yeah, we went to a couple last week. The one over the weekend was it was weird. I got it for Rachel for Christmas because we were already going to Columbus for this like kind of weekend just getaway sort of. And then I saw this burlesque nightclub. It was more like a nightclub than burlesque.
Yeah,
Like,
they usually
it wasn't a performance like most burlesque shows like we went to last week at the bar in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So it was a little different, but it was interesting. You didn't hate it, so it was a good gift, I guess.
That's good.
Yeah. Do you have there's another podcast question I wanted to ask. What, Becca?
Okay, while you're thinking, I just wanted to mention that I noticed that in Apple Podcasts, you can do a subscription thing now. I just thought I'd mention that. So, really weird. Yeah, I noticed, like, I've been listening to this new podcast called Maintenance Phase, which you should listen to. It's amazing.
What is it?
I don't know if you would love it, Ryan.
Maintenance phase. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Maintenance phase. Is it janitors talking about their life experience of cleaning up elementary schools?
Absolutely. 100%. Have you ever listened to...
Can I give you my interpretation of what it means?
Oh, yes, I would love to hear your interpretation.
Okay, so I think it's about businesses that go through that startup innovation phase, and then they get to the part where they need to actually maintain the shit that they built. And they don't just keep building new things. So they need to maintain it. So they're in maintenance phase.
Mine was
keeping
better.
their business to a good state.
Unfortunately, no. So it's actually about the people who host it. It's Aubrey Gordon and Michael Hobbs, and Michael Hobbs also did You're Wrong About, the podcast You're Wrong About. And anyway, it's about like how it's a lot about like how diet culture is bad and how I think women would probably be more apt to listen to it really, because we get a little bit more like body shaming in general. So it's kind of like about body shaming and like all of those things, and like, you know, there's like one episode on Halo Top ice cream, and there's one episode on like the food pyramid, and like they go along that, like, or the president's fitness test that we all did when we were younger. Like, you probably didn't do that. You're a little bit younger than us. But me and Ryan did. Did you do that?
Is that where you reach you're like, your feet are against a box and you reach to a certain distance and you...
Yes. And then you do pull-ups, and then you do sit-ups, and then you do push-ups.
We did that in elementary school, but it does not follow into high school.
Right. So anyway, so they kind of like go through all of these things, and Aubrey is a fat woman, and Mike is gay. So they kind of like go into like queer culture and stuff like that too, and just different like situational stuff. So it's really good so far. I'm listening from the beginning. But anyway, they have subscriptions.
Okay. Not what I would guess maintenance phase was, but...
Right.
Me
I think it's a spin-off of like when you do a diet and you're in the maintenance phase. Like, you know, like you've never done a diet, right?
Maintain. I mean, I get the maintain part.
Maintain,
like, you got to do some exercising and stuff like that.
I think it's more like, hey, don't diet, just maintain.
Right.
Yeah.
How life should be. So.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So their subscription, though, how does that, like, do they just give out exclusive podcasts?
Well, I don't know, because
there's some other ones I listen to. It's like bonus content.
Oh, it's bonus
content.
Or it's like ad-free listening, so you get a special feed that is just for you, that's not with ads.
Yes.
Or you get the extra episodes of things.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I listen to a lot of drag queen podcasts.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, a lot. And the one with Alaska and Willem, they do a exclusive content, bonus content podcast, and they they call it a behind the pussy paywall. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, this is called like MP After Dark, and it's like $4.99 for a month. So it's the same as your subscriptions.
Yeah, theirs is
That's
$4.99.
specifically through Apple, and they call it a different name.
Yeah, it just says subscription, so I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of podcast networks that do the subscriptions now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know Bob the Drag Queen and Monet Exchange, they have sibling rivalry, and they have a specific sibling rivalry podcast Patreon, and everyone, they give exclusive content that they talk about in their podcast, but you get the video version, and you get extra stories about, like, they might bring up a story on their podcast, but then they don't go in depth with it, and then they go on their Patreon and they're like, this is what happened.
There you go. Okay. Little TEs, and then they're like, if you want the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many different avenues to get people to jump onto those subscription services. It's like, and then it's like, where do you draw the line on what you want to do? Because then it's like, are you keeping things away so that you're trying to make that money conversion?
Yeah, and one of the things that I worry about now that I have one, I worry that I might accidentally show it something that should be exclusive to all of my followers. Like, I show it to all of my followers, and then I have one of my subscribers comment or message me and be like, hey, shouldn't I see this and not them because I'm paying you to see this?
I don't think they'll notice, though. I think that's an internal...
Be honest. You could be like, sorry, I forgot.
Oops.
Yeah. This brings up a topic that I would like to talk to in depth in a future.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like Danny Meisiger. He always does videos, and he's like, this is a clip of what I do on my Patreon. You should go follow, you know?
Yeah. I do have the pinned post, the first pinned post on my Instagram page is the promo reel to sign up for my subscription. That's a fun thing that the subscription gives you. They give you a promo reel to promote your subscription. They give a welcome reel, so whenever someone subscribes, hits the subscribe button, I think it automatically sends them to that welcome to the subscription reel. This is what you're going to get. And then they also give, I think it's up to 3 unlocked subscription posts that everyone can see. And right now I only have the 1 unlocked post, which is my old desk.
Nice.
Okay, so that's like, hey, this is an example of what you're going to get versus just, here's a trailer version of what you're going to get.
Yeah, exactly. I just took all the videos that I thought were like creation videos of what I posted throughout the years, and I just mushed them all together and I voiced over it.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember the question I was going to ask. It was about, it's tough. Do you rely on some of the feedback from the things you're putting out to determine whether it's successful or not? Because some of it is, like the podcast, for instance, you put it out, you do all the work, and it's out there. You might not get a lot of feedback or back and forth once it's out there and people listen to it. You don't know what they're taking in, what they're getting from it, what they're not getting from it, if they don't comment or send you a message. Similar to the Instagram, like if people aren't commenting or liking, then it's hard to know how, successful it is, or if you care about that,
Yeah, well, I can still see the analytics of the post and the podcast, so I can see how many people listen to the podcast episodes, and then that gives me an idea of what they're actually maybe interested in. And then on the Instagram, I can see the analytics of how many times they watched it. Did they click my website after seeing the post? Did they go to my page? I can't see the actual usernames, but I can see the numbers of how many times it's been looked at. So that gives me an idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of up in the air right now. I'm just playing it by ear, what works for me in the time being and what I feel like showing.
Yeah. Do you get extra options on, let's say you post a reel, do you get options to link to things from the reel to subscribers? So it's like, this is talking about a blog post or something, and you can link to that, or is it still the same structure where...
It's the same structure as just regular old Instagram. Yeah, when you create a reel or a post or whatever have you on Instagram, it has so many things now, like tag a product, tag a business, add music, and then you go down and said exclusive for subscribers only, and Facebook and all that stuff. And yeah, I just
So it's just a toggle in that same screen. You don't get extra features. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a toggle. That's it. I believe that now I've been noticing that, I bet you could do this way before I even noticed it, but now you can put like polls on your reels, and you can put maybe you can put links on your reels now too.
I saw like an add message button you could put on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's other maybe there's other features if you have a Shopify account linked with it, because I see people like tag products, and there's product links associated with those if you have Shopify linked. But
yeah, maybe I would use that for the subscription posts. Like if I can link something to it, like a product that I'm not like a physical like tool or something that I'm using, that would be handy for the people who are subscription.
Have you thought of using it as a customer draw so that they can get exclusive access to pieces that maybe other people don't have access to?
Yeah, actually, I've had a couple subscribers ask about if there's going to be a time period where they get to go in my shop first to buy what they want to, and then it'll be open to the public. I've considered that. I just have to figure out how to do it with my Squarespace, because right now Squarespace only lets you schedule posts or hide them or make them public. I think I'm going to have to password protect my shop and then give my password to my subscription, and then give them like an allotted time of like 10 minutes. And then after that 10 minutes is up, take away the password protection, like they can't get into it, and hide the website completely, and then I'd have to go in and schedule every single piece over again. So it's going to be interesting if I do that, and if I sell products, if a subscriber buys a product in that allotted time, do I put that listing up as sold out, or do I just completely hide it? But I feel like no matter what happens, if I put it up sold out or if I hide it, I'm going to get a message from someone and be like, I didn't see this, and it was already sold out at 7 o'clock.
I had some feedback.
Shit.
Yeah, tough shit.
Do you have a lot of regular traffic on a daily basis to your site when it's not a shop drop?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I usually get people asking me, like, when is your next drop? Or I go into my analytics on my website and look at I really enjoy going to see what they search in my search bar, which sometimes I get the most bizarre things that they're typing in. And it's obviously not there because half the time I'm sold out. So, yeah, I do get a lot of people. Right now, I probably have, like, ladybug mug searches on my website, even though they're not even finished yet.
Okay. Can you hide pages from searchability?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what if you just went the route, like, not even worrying about the password protection, because you probably have to have a certain level of subscription of Squarespace. But can you just make the pages and hide them from searchability, and then give a landing page for subscribers that they can find, and then get the view of all the pieces?
Yeah, I wonder if I could password protect just the page. Like
just one page that lists all of the products And hopefully every single link is hidden.
Yeah.
That way you don't have
that
to go the
sounds
route
like
of like, do it in 10 minutes. It's like you have 24 hours and it's 3 days before the thing goes live. Maybe 3 days is too far in advance, but do
like
it when it's like so off schedule that people aren't going to just stumble upon it.
True. Yeah. So you think giving 24 hours in advance for subscriber shopping?
Do you normally do previews 24 hours in advance, or do you do?
Yeah, I do previews.
I would do it before you even tell people previews are up. Like,
yeah,
because a lot of people are gonna get that spark of previews and they're gonna go. They could potentially stumble upon it that way. But if you password protect one page, your subscribers would hopefully be able to find that one page, go through it with a password, and then see everything.
Yeah.
I say they just buy it. Like, is there a reason you probably preview it so it builds that hype so they get more attached to the piece before they buy it?
Yeah, and a lot of people like to see the products before they purchase it and get a feel for everything that's in the shop and prices so they know what to afford and how many pieces they want to get. Because if I didn't do a preview, I feel like it would spike people's anxiety like 10 times more than they already have when shopping from a drop, because they're not going to know what they actually want. They're not going to know the numbers. They're not going to, they're just going to go in blind and be like, oh, I don't know which one I want more. So giving them the previews, I think, is helpful in their stance.
Do you think you need to give subscribers previews, or could you list 10 pieces to preview to subscribers only, and that would be enough that, like, hey, you're not fighting for hundreds of people. Like, maybe 10 is your preview group. Maybe some of those are ones that you actually demonstrated. You actually showed them live videos of doing those in that previous month.
That's a good idea.
And then you're like, this will be in your, and I think you should list them in the page, and maybe in the title you say patron only, and then you mark it, and if it did sell out, like, mark it as sold out, so people can know that this specific item was for patrons only.
But how do I make the people who aren't patrons not buy the patron listing if it didn't sell out?
Oh, I mean, I guess you could just put it in your regular listing and not show it as a patron only listing.
Yeah.
Once you hit that, like, if you're fine with keeping it and putting in your preview the next day, if nobody buys it, like, say, hey, you've got until the preview goes live to everybody to buy one of these 10 items exclusive to you. You don't have to worry about rushing. I mean, you're rushing with other subscribers, but you're rushing with a group of 10 to 20 people. Whereas, probably 5 people are going to go in there, or more than half maybe, that are go in there and buy. So,
or none.
It's like, hey, you've got exclusive time, and that stress would probably drive a lot of people to be subscribers, I would think.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think just be subscribers. They don't even care about you. They just care about getting your cups. That's like the perfect situation.
Yeah.
I mean,
I bet if I put a post saying that I will give 24 hours in advance for shopping for subscribers only, I bet I would get more subscribers if I did that. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, they would probably cancel the subscription right after.
Maybe they won't. I mean, hey, it's worth $5. Sometimes it's worth $5 for peace of mind that you're going to get something that you want.
Yeah, but I think the unfortunate fact of that, if they subscribe, say they subscribed in February, and I had my restock by the end of February, and then they unsubscribe still within February, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think they get their full refund, and I get the money taken away from me also.
Really?
I think so. Because that's what happened in my last, when they unsubscribed. Here, I'll go into my amount of money that I
feel like that would be an edge case. I don't think many people would do that. But
I hope not.
Like, I don't think that would be a reason not to
Okay, so
exclusive access.
Yeah, so right here, this year, January, I got $48.53 with Wow, that was my dyslexia. 14, not 41 subscribers. And I canceled one subscriber because a whole nother story. And then this month, I got $39.04 with also 14 subscribers, and 3 people canceled. So still 14 subscribers, but I got less money. I mean, it's only like $1 less, but still. Actually more, like $10. That's $10 less. 48 versus 39.
Does it tell you when they get charged? Do they get charged at the beginning of the next month that they start versus they
When
get charged?
Sign
It
up.
doesn't tell me anything other than approximate earnings, subscribers, canceled subscribers, and new subscribers.
Okay.
And the time from
The way Patreon does it,
the first to last.
They will pay the first of the month. You can choose how you want to do it. If you want them to pay when they start, or if you want to pay them, everybody pays on the first of the month.
Yeah.
I think it's the first of the month for this also. I believe Instagram gives them like a message or something. It pops up on their feed at the first of the month and probably says like, do you want to continue subscription? And they can pick yes or no. I think that's how they do it. I'm not 100% sure.
Those bastards.
That would suck if it's an opt-in every single month.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's like that because I had 3 people cancel like all together.
Maybe it's not a do you want to continue? Maybe it's like we're going to charge you. Well,
yeah, like heads up.
Maybe I'll just sign up for your subscription for 1 month and see if it tells me that.
It's up to you. You might learn something from me.
I might.
Or not. I could be doing it for shits and giggles.
Well,
I think you got plenty of options on the table, though. Like,
yeah,
you got some good ideas flowing, and the expertise that you can provide. Like, a lot of people wouldn't spend the time to demonstrate that intricate of a process. So, you're in it to show people and share like what's going on. So, I think that people see the willingness for you to share. So it's I think that should drive the value that people are getting from it,
Yeah, I hope it's helping some people, Like, that's all I can do is try to help.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay if there's people that are kind of on the sideline and they just subscribe and don't really contribute, because that's going to be...
Yeah, most of them don't like or comment at all. Like, my last live, I had people comment during the live, like maybe 1 or 2, but they don't comment or like the actual posts. I think, like my glaze combo that I gave out last month, 7 people liked it out of the 14. So that was nice, but I'm not really looking for likes and comment. I mean, I like the way comments on this exclusive content. I think it would be nice to go more in depth with what I was talking about with other people, but I'm totally fine with not getting likes on these posts because I'm getting their money. I don't really care about the likes.
Yeah, their money speaks louder than likes. And it's hard because when you're used to the regular scale of posting a reel and getting the feedback and getting the traction.
Yeah, it is
such minute scale with the subscribers that it's hard to gauge what's working, what's not. And maybe it's just do you, see what's worth your time and what you like doing, and then you can adjust it from there.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the factors, I think I said this earlier, like one of the reasons that I like doing the subscription is that it helps people get to know me better. And like in my last live demo, I had to plug in my tablet, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I electrocuted myself during this live? It's like, what are you doing? So yeah, just little things like that. And maybe it's making them, I don't know. I just feel like people need to show their faces more, and I talked to one of my friends about this, about getting out of your comfort zone. If you have a small business, people just like to know you as a person. Sometimes they don't really want to know about your process. People just want to feel familiarized with you, and that makes them love your work even more.
Sometimes not.
Yeah.
I feel like I've built my business mostly on people knowing me as opposed to my pottery,
Yeah.
And that comes in handy sometimes, but like, the last update I did, I got 6 sales. Like,
That's where you got to figure out how to bridge the gap of
so you
my
kind of
followers versus my customers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be selling to people that aren't potters too. So that's also another thing, right? So yeah. Hey, we should probably end because I need to go get some ice cream for me and my mom.
Yeah. Marbles in snuggle mode over here.
Yeah, and it's my bedtime, so.
So we're all just tapping out. Well, thank you, Brooke. Do you want to tell people where they can find you, your podcast, your website, your Instagram, all the things?
Do you have a shop update coming up soon?
Yes, so you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Bats Ceramics. That's BATS Ceramics. And my podcast is Batty Bitches. And you can find that on Anchor or Spotify. And the Instagram is BattyBitches_podcast. And my next shop update is, I want to say, the second to last weekend of March.
Cool. Okay. Perfect.
They're pretty consistent. You always have it right there in the last couple weeks of the month.
Yeah, I try my best to have it at the end of each month. I'm not doing it at the end of this February because I went on vacation in early February. So I didn't have enough time to have a shop restock, create enough work to have a restock at the end of February.
So this would be like a restock and a half worth in March.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
And what's weird? Sorry to go on another tangent, but I make less money doing a 1.5 restock than a 1 restock. How? I don't know how. I don't know. I ran all my numbers.
Spread across 2 months?
Or... Maybe it's the consistency.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. It was weird.
Also, I think I found a hot pink underglaze. I sent it to you.
Thank you so much.
Well, I put it on the chat here, so you have to look in the chat.
You're actually
There's 3 links. I think it's all the same, but it's Spectrum.
Ceramics website, so that's a little
more.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it, and it honestly looks like the color that I've already mixed.
You know what? Fine.
Thank you for trying. I really appreciate it.
Maybe it's better in person.
It could be, but I don't want to give my hopes up, so.
But what if you got that and then started and then added to it to make it even hotter?
Possibility. I'm going to send you a picture of the brightest pink that I'm capable of getting.
On the chat or on my Instagram?
On your Instagram, because it's on my phone and I don't know how to send it through the chat. Perfect. From my tablet.
Good idea.
So that's the hottest pink that I'm capable of creating.
Becca's like
salmon colored.
I know.
Did you put some purple in there?
Yeah, a tidbit. It's like rose, bright red, and coral pink. And they're all layered on top of each other and also mixed together.
Huh. Okay, well, we'll work on this. Anyway, thank you for coming on. This has been lovely.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this, you guys. It means a lot to me to have other people see things in me that I don't normally see in myself. So thank you so much.
Yeah. See, now you can, I don't even know what you sell your pieces for, but now you can add like $20 to them.
I've been graduating gradually increasing the price $5 here and there over time. So someday
How
I'll
much
get.
is a mug for?
The painted mugs they range from, right now they're probably $175 to $210.
Oh, thank God. Okay, great. Perfect.
Yeah, so I'm gradually increasing the price. My last restock, my favorite pieces, and I give myself like a couple favorite pieces in each batch, and I add $5 to each one of them because they're hard for me to say goodbye to. So this last batch, I think the most expensive one was $205.
Nice.
Would you ever up that a little bit for the subscribers that saw you do it live and you talked to them about it? Or is that harder because you already know they're paying money, so you don't want to add more money?
Yeah, they're already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they
that's
get
the only.
exclusive access potentially, so.
Yeah, they already have that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, no more tangents. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Go
Bye,
get
everybody.
that ice cream, girl.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Good night.
Yo, yo, yiggity, yo. It's Becca here. Hey, just so you know, thank you for listening. And also, we have. What do we have again? A Patreon. We have a Patreon that you should go, and if you want to donate to, you could donate to it. If you don't, that's cool too. But just Google Wheel Talk Podcast Patreon. Don't do the other one, because there is a Wheel Talk on Patreon, but it's not us. So make sure you get the right one. It's in the show notes. And also, leave us a review because they're fun to read. Okay, bye.